Alright, here we are everyone. We are back at the shack and the cicadas are having another crack there in the background, but today what I want to talk to you guys is about length of hull. So basically a lot of boats these days, they use on their websites a measurement called length overall, which is a measurement that I don't personally love because it's basically BS. What it dictates is that anything that's permanently attached to your boat can be included as part of the length overall measurement of your boat. So think your bowsprit, think engine pods or engine brackets. So what you see now is a lot of boat brands, both plate and glass. You know, you see glass boats molding their hulls out with these big long noses at the front for their bowsprits, which add heaps of the length on the front. Go have a look at something like a Signature, and you've basically got all of the plate boats do it as well, so they add their bowsprits. And then you've got boats like BARCRUSHER and Surtees and many others which basically have an engine bracket on the back. I wouldn't call it a pod because it doesn't actually come down to the waterline, so it's not increasing the running surface of the boat or the real hull length of the boat at all, but they've included that pod in the length overall of their boat. So what I'm going to do today, what we're going to do is we're going to measure the length of the actual hull. So I know in the last boat we did a length, in the last video we did a length overall of, it's about 6.99 or 7 meters total depending on where you measured it. You could even say it was slightly longer. So today we're going to do a more true measurement, which is length of hull. And I'm also going to do some other measurements inside as well that a few people asked me for. And then I'm going to compare that to the BARCRUSHER 730 HT length of hull and also a 700 Gamefisher, because I've had a few mates send me the measurements of their boats. Alright, so and I'm going to show you guys how I do this measurement as well. So first, the logic. So come over here please, Lucas. Beautiful, yeah, that's good. Alright, so we're good. Now we're just going to go
keep it straight,
close to the boat as possible. And I'm going to use, again, I've got another piece of scientific equipment here that I'm going to use. Just a second. Alright, so what I can see at the moment, so I'm lining that up at the moment with the bottom, basically the bottom center of the hull, and we have exactly 6.6 meters. And then I can see the top goes out a bit further, I would say 6.7. So obviously it's going to depend exactly where you measure your boat to. So I've knocked off that bowsprit at the front. To the bottom of the hull here, we've got 6.6, and then to the top we've got 6.7. Alright, let me just check. I'm just going to double check this at the front because I don't want to get this wrong. Make sure I've got this in the right position for you guys. And then if we put this out here, we've got 20 centimeters. Well, sorry, I bet they include this thing all the way out there. Yeah, they would. So that bowsprit is pretty sizable. You're looking like 25 centimeter bowsprit there. So look, depending how you measure the boat, I would say you've got somewhere between 6.6 and 6.7 meters of hull. I'm just going to do a few other measurements while we're here, which I didn't double check the first time. Just the height of the highest point of the hull. Can you just hold that there for me, please, Lucas? You can just hold it there for me. Just going to have another look. We've got about, I would say 1.22 meters. So the height that I measured at the back of the boat, 1.22, I would say is 1.22 at the front. Interesting, they quoted at 1.25, so that could just be my measuring is not accurate. Another interesting fact is that the 760 model they quote the total height as 1.15, so 10 centimeters shorter. So, which is interesting on the website, because I did think those boats looked more stretched out and more low, and I thought this must just be an optical illusion, but this boat is actually higher. Now I'm going to do a total height measurement from the top of the hardtop, because that's going to be a good one just from a garaging perspective.
Yep.
We have got a total height of, I would say, 3.23 meters. That's obviously not including a radar. Now, pop up around the back here, Lucas. I'm just going to double check these measurements that I did inside the boat here, if you just want to stay there, Lucas. Alright, total length of the deck is, to be very precise, 2.96 meters. I'm going to now do the width at the front and the back. Okay, at the front we've got 1.77 meters. Okay, 1.77 at the back. Sorry, at the front. And we have 1.95, 1.96 here. Alrighty, so the Surtees 700 Gamefisher has a pod which sticks out about 30 centimeters apparently from my friend Michael, and the bowsprit is about 26 centimeters long. In any case, he says that he estimates the total hull length to be just under 6.5 meters, so 6.49 or something like that. So that's the 700 Gamefisher. Now if we look at the BARCRUSHER 730 HT, alright, so the 730 HT has got a 420mm long rear, a rear engine bracket. Again, I wouldn't call it a pod because it doesn't extend down to the waterline. It's an engine bracket, and it's got a bowsprit measurement of 120mm. I think it might be a little bit bigger that, but it depends how you measure it. If we go 42 plus 12 is 54, 7.2 minus 54 is, I don't know, so we go 6.66 meters hull length. And let's say he did get that measurement wrong and it is a genuine 7.3 LOA, then that would be 6.76, but he's basically measured it as 6.66. So that's because at the end of the day, by the way, it's your actual true hull length that determines your carrying capacity for the boat. So fuel, people, engine, weight, all that sort of stuff. All right, so here we are. You know, we've just spoken about the hull size of the boats, those three boats, and these three boats all do things a little bit differently. So they all use that hull size a little bit differently. So the BARCRUSHER 730 has obviously got arguably probably the largest deck space out of the three. But again, it's got that short cabin. I think the bunks are about 1.8, so you're looking about 25 centimeters shorter than this boat. I think the Surtees comes with a 1.7 meter bunks, or you can go for a short option, which is about 1.5. Beam wise, this boat has heaps of beams, so I don't have the measurements of the beam, but internally this thing is definitely a lot wider than the Surtees, without doubt. Don't have the measurements on the 730 BARCRUSHER. So, you know, I'd summarize these boats as follows. If you basically want, if you want the softest, smoothest, quietest, best handling boat, it's this boat, basically. Okay, where everything's soft, you're not going to bang yourself. This is more of a family-friendly offshore boat that you can go out game fishing in absolute comfort, and you're not going to knock yourself around. If you want the boat with the biggest deck space, and absolute deck space is your thing above all else, Yeah, the BARCRUSHER 730 or the Surtees with a short bunk option. When I first started out game fishing, when I would just go out with mates and I didn't give a crap about seating and comfort and storage, I would buy boats that had the absolute biggest deck space possible. That's why I had two Allison 195 anglers. I shit you not, they have the biggest deck for any 6-meter boat ever made. It's absolutely enormous. And that was fine for me back then, but now I'm more about comfort, storage, spending a long day out of the water, weather protection. I don't want to bang myself up, so that's why I've gone for this type of config. Genuinely we'll be doing some overnighters as well. I did 2 overnighters in my BARCRUSHER. Absolutely horrible trying to sleep on 1.7-meter boats. So as mentioned, the measurements of the Gamefisher 700 and the 730 BARCRUSHER was provided to me by 2 owners of those boats. Obviously I can't compare it absolutely directly. I asked them to measure it in the exact same way I did, so I believe those measurements are pretty accurate. But look, anyway, I'll just leave it there. All 3 boats are awesome, by the way, so I recommend all 3 of these boats, and it really just depends exactly what you want to do with your boat. And again, I wanted that balance of just comfort, soft ride, quiet ride, storage, overnighting, all that sort of stuff, and that's what this boat is all about. But anyway, we're just basically giving the boat a run at the moment, just a bit of a shakedown, making sure everything's all good, getting used to launch and retrieve and the electronics and all sorts of crap, and stay tuned, we'll be out offshore very shortly trying to catch a marlin.